Hello guys, this is Professor DK and welcome to the second part of the tutorial on simple login app using the database. Without any further ado, let's start with it. Quickly go ahead and create the database. Go to your browser and type in Firebase. So click on the first link that you see. So it should the URL goes something like this: firebase.google.com. So Firebase is a mobile and web development platform which was taken over by Google, and now we have a lot of new features which have been added, and every day we get to see a couple of changes happening. So as you can see here, it offers us real-time database. It gives us the feature of authentication, crash reporting, cloud storage, and there are plenty of other things which keep improving each and every day. So why are we using this and not anything else? So most of you here are using database just for security purposes and for authentication, right? Now the problem with creating a database on a web hosting service and then writing the PHP file, so all that gets complicated, and your main work, which is the app, the main priority of our app, so all the deviation from the app is basically going to this. So you cannot focus on your main work, and instead you need to make a database and focus on all these trivial things. So to solve all that issues, so Firebase has come up with this platform where you only have to focus on your work and not focus on how you can expand your servers, how you can send values to the database, how you can provide authentication. So all that is taken care by Firebase. You just need to focus on your work, the main reason why you're doing the app. All right, so let's just quickly go ahead in and sign in to Firebase. So I already have my account here, so I'm just gonna sign in into that. So once you sign in, so you can see your profile picture here. So you click on go to console. So this is the console. So here it gives you the option of adding a project. So this is one of my projects. So just go ahead and add a new project. So I'll prompt you for your project name. So I'm gonna call this as login demo, and it will assign a project ID and choose the country of origin. Okay, and once you have entered all these details, so click on create project. Okay, so we are inside the login demo project. So let's add authentication. So in the right left corner you can see under develop you have authentication. So just click on it and let us set up the sign in method. So click on setup sign in method, and we need an email password verification. So just click on this and click on enable. So we have enabled email and password authentication. So now that we have done that, let's click on users. So as you can see, we do not have any users as of now. Click on templates. You will see that it'll show you email address verification, password reset, address change, and these are the different things which you'll be seeing in the upcoming videos. So for now, just do not worry about all this and just click on users. So now that we have created our project here, we just need to implement this in our Android Studio. Okay, so to integrate Firebase into our project, so firstly go to project overview and we need to link it to our app. So here under get started, you can see that you can add Firebase to your Android app. So click on that, and we need to provide our Android package names. Go to Android Studio, and at the top you can see that the package name is mentioned. So copy that and paste it here. So we have our package name, just remove package. Okay, and we can either give a nickname to our app. So let's just call this as login demo, and click on register app. And it will give us a config file which we need to add to our app folder. So just click on download google services.json. So navigate to your Android projects folder and inside that you need to paste this under the app folder. So go to login demo wherever you have saved the file, and under app just save the google services.json file. So if you couldn't save properly, so you can just save this onto your desktop, and then you can just copy it, and you can even paste it from Android Studio. You can just go to Android and click on project at the top, and you can under app you can just do a paste here. So you can just paste it here as well, so that will also work. So anyways, if you see here, I have saved the file and it is displayed here. So I have my google services.json under my app folder. So the last part is to add a couple of URLs onto your Gradle file. So firstly, let's add the first one into our dependencies inside the root Gradle file. So go to Android again, and here you can see that okay, so here you can see that under Gradle scripts I have two Gradle files. So you must go to the root Gradle file, which will be shown as project login demo, a text beside that. So click on that, and under dependencies just add this line, and also we need to add a plugin at the bottom of the app level build.gradle file. So copy this as well, and we're gonna paste this in our app level build.gradle file at the bottom. So outside dependencies, and we'll apply our plugin, and we just need to click on sync now. Okay, so we have successfully added Firebase onto our app. So now to add authentication, so go to authentication under develop column, and we need to check how we can add the authentication, right? So click on go to docs, and under that you can see get started for Android. So click on that, and here if you scroll down, you can see that it asks you to repeat some of the steps. So we have done this already, but we have not added Google's Maven repository. So under build.gradle, so we need to add this file. So add this URL. So go to the root level build.gradle file, and under repositories just paste this and click on sync now. Okay, and after we have done that, we can go to app/build.gradle file. So we have added our plugin, but we have not added this dependency. So this line basically imports all the core utilities of Firebase onto our app. So just copy this, and we are gonna add this in our build.gradle file in our app level folder. So paste it here, and again click on sync now. If you go ahead to their website, they say that if you want to add a couple of libraries for different features, you need to add these dependency lines in our app.gradle file. So since we're using authentication, we need to copy this line of code in our dependency file. So go to dependencies and just paste this as well, and we need to add the compile. Just need to add compile. Okay, so we have authentication files also imported in our project. So click on sync now. So now that we have done all this, so we are good to go, and we have created our email/login email/verification project here. So you'll notice that once our app is ready, the registered users are displayed here. Let's start with how we can code the app. So under registration activity.java, so we need to create an instance of Firebase authenticator, right? So we have Firebase auth. You can give it any name that you want. So we need to create an instance of this in our app. So for that, inside on create, so type in Firebase auth is equal to Firebase auth dot get instance. So that'll get an instance of our authenticator into this variable. So this is basically an object of this main class. All right. So next, inside this, so here is where we'll be uploading the data onto the database. So as you saw on Firebase, we have done an email/password login verification. So we need to post the email first. So user email is equal to user email dot get text dot toString dot trim, and we also need to give the password. So string password is equal to user password dot get text dot toString dot trim. So here basically we are getting whatever the user has entered and we are trimming it. So this is basically this line is converting it to a string, and the dot trim function is to remove all the white spaces that the user might have entered. So now we only need to post it to the database. So Firebase auth dot create username, create user with email and password, and inside this we need to give the email and the password. So user email comma user password dot we are also gonna add an on complete listener. So add on complete listener, and inside this we need to give the parameter add on complete listener. So Android Studio will auto complete it for you, and click on enter. So we have this huge line of code. I mean, it's easier with Android Studio because it auto completes it for you. So I'll repeat. So Firebase auth dot create user with email and password, just type create and it's gonna auto complete. Click on enter, then type in user email and user password and enter a dot, and then just type add, and it's gonna auto complete by giving you different options. So add on complete listener, and inside the curly brackets just type new, and just type on com, and it's gonna auto complete it for you again, and click on enter, and all these lines will be custom generated for you. And if you see here you have an error, this is because this is a single line, so it needs to end with a semicolon. So just put a semicolon, and inside on complete, so you need to tell the user that the task was successful or if there was some error. So for that sake you can display a toast dot make text, give the context, and just type in registration successful, length toast dot length short dot show. All right, so this will basically display the toast, and this will show an error because since this is inside an internal loop, the context is not recognized. So you need to do just type in registration activity dot this. Okay, so it should work. So why are we doing this extra line is because we need to intimate the user on if it was successful or not. So that's why we are using the add on complete listener, or else only so much is more than fine. I mean, you could end the line here as well, so all the data would be sent to the database, but you wouldn't know if it was successful or not. So add on complete basically tells if it is successful, then display this message. All right, and since this is the task of on complete, we need to put this inside that loop. So if task dot is successful, so that's when we need to display this message. So cut this and paste it inside this if condition loop, and if the task wasn't successful, then we'll display a toast in the same way, but we need to just change the message. So display a toast again, and we'll say registration failed. All right, if the registration was successful, so you can direct the user to the login page. So start activity, new intent, and we'll direct him from registration activity dot this to main activity, which is the login activity dot class. Okay, so on successful login you'll be doing this, or else you display the message saying registration failed. So we have successfully completed our registration activity. So go ahead to our main activity, and we need to give the option for our user to come to the registration activity, right? So for that we need to private text view registration. We'll call this user registration, and we'll assign the IDs for it. So user registration is equal to So if you're wondering what I'm doing, so if you remember, the first thing that we did when we started the video was in the main activity we added this text view. So we need to give the option for the user to go to the registration activity. So this is the link that we have to the next activity. So we are assigning that. So in our main activity, so we have created the variable for that. We have assigned the ID for that, and now we are just gonna set an on-click listener on this. So user registration dot set on click listener, new on click listener, and we're going to direct the user from this activity to a new activity. So we're going to direct the user from login from this main activity to registration activity. So main activity dot this, which is a source, and the destination is the registration activity, so that will be the class. So this will we are sending the user from, we are directing the user from one activity to another using just one line. So now that we have completed everything, I guess we can just go ahead and run the app and check for any errors. So as you can see on the website here, I do not have any users. So I'm gonna go into the app. So this is the app activity that we have here. So I'm gonna click on new users / sign up. So I'm just gonna enter the details. So firstly we have our name here, and then we have email, and it's gonna enter my email ID. So dheerajkamat22@gmail.com, and I'm gonna enter the password as 123456. Alright, so when I click on register, so it should update the values in the database, and as you can see here, it showed that the registration was successful. So as you can see here, we have the user details registered. So dheerajkamat22@gmail.com was the email ID that I entered, and the password is saved, even though you can't view it here, but it's saved and it can be accessed in the login page. So I'll be showing that in the next video, but for now so we have registered our user, and you can do so and add as many users as you want. And another thing about the app, as I told you, is if you entered into the registration activity by mistake, you could go back to the login activity just by clicking already signed in, and as you can see, you get directed to the main page. So this is the registration activity. Also, another important thing to notice is that when I try to register with all the fields blank, so as you know, we had created the logic that when each of this is empty, it should display the toast saying that please enter all the details. So when I click on register, the app is crashing. So I found out that we had a logical error in our code. So just we have to make some minor changes. So in Android Studio, go ahead to the registration activity, and we have a logical error here. So here I'm basically inside this if condition, I'm checking if all of these are empty, but I had put an AND condition, but it should be an OR condition. So basically I have to check if this is empty or if this is empty, and it should not register if either of them is empty and not if all are empty, right? So we need to change this logical error. So rectify this and just put an OR operator here. So once we have that, once we have corrected that, we can again run the app and it should work perfectly fine. So here we have our app after the changes were made. So I'm gonna keep all the blanks empty and I'm gonna click on register. So as you can see, he tells us to enter all the details. So our app is working perfectly fine. Let's just create another user. Let's just call it Rohan, and I'm just gonna give the email ID as rohan@gmail.com, rohan@gmail.com, and I'm gonna give the password as 123456, and I'm gonna click on register. So once the data has been posted to Firebase, so it should be displayed here. So in my database, so I'm gonna refresh the page, and so as you can see, rohan@gmail.com was created. So our app is working perfectly fine. So catch you guys in the next video. So this is the registration activity. So hope you like the video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you have any queries, make sure you comment below and I'll respond to you as quickly as possible. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you guys for watching. Happy learning.